The Red Sea is currently the most volatile chessboard on the planet. Everyone is watching Washington. Everyone is watching Cairo. Everyone is watching the ongoing shadow wars in Sudan and the northern Ethiopian highlands. But while the world is distracted by the noise, a quiet, tectonic shift is happening in the shadows. A partnership that traces its roots back to the ancient trade routes of the 17th century, but is being rewritten in real time right now, in 2026. We are talking about the secret, calculated evolution of ties between Asmara and New Delhi. Why is the Horn of Africa's most isolated state suddenly courting India? And more importantly, what does this mean for the power struggle between the US, China, and regional players? Today, we go beyond the headlines to uncover the hidden architecture of the Eritrea-India pivot. To understand the now, we have to look at the why. Eritrea is not just looking for another trade partner. It is looking for a strategic buffer. In the last 2 years, we have seen the anatomy of the encirclement, a term analysts are using to describe the tightening pressure on Ethiopia. Eritrea, positioned as the gatekeeper of the Red Sea, realizes it needs a partner that is assertive, economically potent, but, crucially, non-interventionist in domestic affairs. India fits that mold perfectly. Unlike the West, which comes with human rights conditionality, or China, which often brings debt-trap infrastructure, India offers a model of capacity building that Asmara can actually swallow: agriculture, digital connectivity, and education. This is not just about buying wheat or sugar. It is about the Vidya Bharati project, India's digital initiative. Eritrea has quietly tied its educational and digital infrastructure into India's Pan-African network. Think about the implications. By integrating with Indian digital systems, Eritrea is subtly diversifying its strategic dependencies. If you control the digital backbone, you have a pulse on the nation. This is a subtle, long-game play by New Delhi to ensure a foothold in the Red Sea without the massive military footprint of a base. They are building influence through utility. Now let us dig deeper. What is happening in the high-level meetings between the Eritrean ambassador and the ministers of land, water, and environment? Reports from this week suggest a massive pivot toward technical collaboration, moving away from traditional, bulky military alliances towards soft power dominance. This is the part most analysts miss. By standardizing technical and environmental standards with India, Eritrea is effectively digitizing its borders and its resources. Now, bring it back to the big picture. Why would the US care? Because India is a middle power that the US is currently betting on as a counterbalance to China in the Indo-Pacific. If New Delhi begins to project stability, or even just meaningful economic engagement, in Eritrea, it changes the calculus for Washington. Consider the strategic geography of the Bab-el-Mandeb Strait. This is the world's most dangerous maritime bottleneck. For years, the U.S. relied on the Cairo-Washington axis to maintain order here. But that axis is fraying. If India provides a neutral anchor in Eritrea, it complicates the narrative of a simple pro-Iran or anti-West bloc in the Horn. It is a classic diplomatic hedge. Eritrea gets legitimacy. India gets a strategic watchtower over the world's most critical maritime choke point. But there is a catch. How does this sit with the other regional heavyweights? Ethiopia is watching this closely. The recent diplomatic, communication, and movement restrictions between these nations are not just internal policies. They are reactions to this shifting external realignment. There is one final piece of this puzzle: succession planning. We know that the Eritrean leadership family is known for its longevity. But behind the scenes, there is a scramble for post-Issa's relevance. This pivot to India is not just about the now. It is an insurance policy for the future. By locking in long-term technical and institutional agreements with a major global power, they are hardening the state against the volatility that follows a leadership transition. Some are calling this the great rebalancing of the Red Sea. It is a slow, methodical expansion of influence that bypasses the traditional noise of international sanctions and televised diplomatic fallout. So, are we witnessing a sea change? Maybe not overnight, but look closely at the next round of Foreign Office consultations. Look for the expansion of Indian tech and agricultural experts in the Asmara hinterlands. The Horn of Africa is a graveyard for short-term geopolitical predictions, but India's slow and steady approach in Eritrea might just be the most consequential move no one is talking about. The question is not whether the US will notice. The question is, what will they do when they realize they no longer have the only say in the Red Sea? I am curious, do you think this pivot to New Delhi is enough to stabilize the Red Sea? Or is this just another layer of the regional shadow war? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you are tired of the mainstream surface-level news, subscribe. We are tracking the things the algorithms want to hide. How does this deeper dive into the Eritrea-India pivot align with the other geopolitical encirclement markers you are tracking in your project?